What's happening, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving, or almost Thanksgiving. I'm ready to get a jump start on it. Looks like, Thanksgiving landed on a Thursday this year, so that's always nice. We can turn it into a 4-day holiday. So I know it's always on a Thursday, but so we're wrapping up the week here, and I wanted to kind of recap because, man, as you can see from my eyes, I'm ready for a few days off. So while I probably won't take the whole 4 days off, I'll be working remotely or something like that. It's been a long week, and I think started over the weekend, obviously, with that accident in Arizona, which is pretty close to us. I'm in Arizona, probably at least once or twice a month. So tragic accident where a little girl got hurt by a gate. We haven't got the full details of that to know what that is yet, but that's not exactly what any of us needed on a Thanksgiving, and much less that family that's going to be going through that. So that weighs heavy on all of us, I know, as an industry. But I'm just wanted to kind of recap on what we were working on this week. If you were following me at all on social media, you noticed there was all kinds of new stuff popping up that we were working on. The Fence University. Now, if anybody remembers, I put out some tests probably, the beginning of last year. And they kind of got squashed a little bit. And I was kind of hoping some other people would step up and do it themselves and said they were going to be doing it. A few people reached out and said, hey, you know what, we were going to do that. And it just never quite pulled it through at their end. So we're launching it again. We're going to get the online testing. And I guess what I've always envisioned was a place where anybody could access it any time of day and get some information, get a certificate, get certified chain link, iron, vinyl, wood, and as well as having some resources for the businesses and the installers, and even training for sales staff on there. And is it going to replace 2 weeks or a week in person somewhere, flying out to wherever they do these things? Absolutely not. And nothing's going to replace physical education when you're sitting there learning hands-on tools like that. But hey, what I hear a lot from everybody else, just it's better than nothing. It's better than us doing nothing and reaching, only a number of people every year, or, every time we do the classes. I want to see this on a large scale, and I want to see everybody getting certified in gate safety and, something like that as well. So this is information that has to get out there, and the gate safety stuff with Fence University is always going to be free. If it's safety related and it's anything has to do with a child or a person getting hurt from a fence or a gate, that's going to be free. It's just what FWA does. We'll use funds from something else to pay for it if I have to. I'll reach out to somebody and say, hey, help me cover these costs of these exams or certificates or something, because it needs to be free. It needs to be available. And that's what we're going to be doing. On the other stuff, we're going to have some resources for businesses where you're going to be able to do some pre-hire exams. And I don't know about you, but I can't count the number of times somebody came in and said, hey, I know everything about chain link, everything about wood, vinyl. I built fence my whole life and I know everything. And it turns out 2-3 weeks later, after you invest all that time, he didn't know nothing. He didn't know anything. Or a week later, he realized it's a lot harder work than he thought, and he's gone. You're, $5,000 into this guy or something to find out. So we are creating tools. If you went in and you see some of the beta tests that are out there, go to fenceuniversity.com. You can test some of that stuff out. But my vision is to have a new hire. A new hire come in, sit him in your conference room, sit him in your office, even send it to him. Hopefully you can watch him do it, but send it to him where he can take the test. It'll give you a little, just a little summary. Hey, this guy's 60% proficient in basic chain link, 70% in vinyl, doesn't know anything about wood, never even heard of AG fence. Things like this. It'll kind of give you at least something, so you have a little bit of input. And then we're going to be doing some post-hire exams. So basically, you'll be able to give somebody a little bit more extensive test, and say the guy scored an 85, on this test, and then you tell him, hey, you better score. I can't tell you when or how you should give raises, but or out of probation. But at the end of his probation, this guy scored a 75. Not only did he not learn anything, it looks like he lost some knowledge. Then you may decide whether you want to keep them after probation, or maybe you tell somebody, hey, you got to score at least a 90 or 92 in order to get your raise or your keep past your probation. So anyway, we're going to do some of those tools out there. We're going to work with the industry. I'm going to put these tests out there, and then I want you guys to tear them apart. Tell us what we need to change, the verbiage, everything in these things, so that we can create stuff that works for everybody. And then the sales tools, we're going to try to create some sales tools as well for your salespeople to constantly be working on. Anyway, the Fence University, I just want to see it grow and make tools available to everybody. We're not trying to go do a bunch of physical education stuff. The only time you're going to see probably Fence University itself, other than endorsing some other stuff, would be probably at the Fence Show and Security Expo. It'll be twice a year, probably in the beginning of the year and the end of the year, the East Coast and the West Coast. So you'll see some education at some of those events and things like that. But we're going to be working closely with everybody else. Anyway, so check that out. You're going to see that growing almost every other day, probably hopefully getting some new stuff in there. But that's kind of what we've been working on this week, along with the FWA AI. If you haven't seen the AI app, you should go in there and check it out. It's free to use it. You're not going to get unlimited use, but you're going to get it's 2,000 words in the beginning. You'll get another 500 words loaded every month. So if you're not going to, if you're just trying to create some social media posts or something, go in there, man. All you got to do is type in your company name. I think it was just your company name and your website address, and bam, it's going to spit out some posts and stuff for you to do on social media. You can do termination letters, tools. I'm looking at it right now over here. You can create blogs, offer of employment, verbal warnings, write-ups, invoice follow-ups. I mean, sometimes you could put in there what you want. You want it to be an aggressive one, or if you want it to just be polite, things like that. Thank you letters, tool responsibility letters, damage reports, have you help you write your contracts. You can even write scripts. I mean, if you're, I know I do TikToks and scripts all the time, but if you wanted to get into doing more videos and TikToks for your company, you could write me a TikTok about, it'll ask you what it's about. Hey, maybe it's Brian and Rick installing a gate, make it funny. It'll write to tell you how many seconds, 30 seconds. It'll write you a 30-second script. At least you have something to start with. Things like forming your corporations and keyword generators, safety meeting topics. That's a big one. So you can use it to help generate your safety meeting topics. It has some gate safety stuff in there. And then there's a lot of people asked, we added that recently about, how do you write a letter to your local school telling them they need to check on their gates and make sure they're up to par with some of the fall protections and things like that. Anyway, it goes on and on. Go to fwa.ai, check that out. Something else we've been working on pretty heavy this week. FWA Supply Group, that thing is just constantly growing. I mean, that is just probably one of my biggest projects yet. And we must have them pull up over here. It looks like we got like 8 catalogs we're working on. Besides the one where you're going to be actually going and search products, we're going to be putting out 8 catalogs, and we're just getting submission after submission from people. So that's something. Go to fwasupply.com. If you're a supplier, manufacturer, things like that, and you want to get your information in there, we got people just signing up almost every day to get in that thing. So we got catalogs on steel products, which is going to be kind of changed to steel chain link products, just because it was a little confusing on that part. But wood products, vinyl products, aluminum products, access control catalog is going to be in there as well. AG fence, tools and equipment, and door hardware. If you're in our industry and you do any kind of access controls and things like that, even on the residential fences or commercial fences, there's always some sort of door controls. So rather than just searching the internet hoping you find something that's going to work, we're going to try to connect you with the suppliers that are servicing our industry. So that's something that's pretty exciting. So go to fwasupply.com and take a look at that. What else we got going on? I don't know if you remember the Gate Safety Summit. I know we're going to be meeting up at Tony's thing up in Monkey Island. Is it December 11th? I think he was nice enough to do that. I'm glad we're all meeting up. A little disappointed that the industry, when I invited everybody up to the Gate Safety Summit at the Fence Show in August, it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'm excited to see people getting involved again. I wish they would get involved in stuff everybody's doing, not just kind of internal stuff like that. But I'm excited to be there for Tony's thing. Again, I think it's December 10th at Monkey Island Fence Business. Tony, you'll have to chime in here on this Fence Business show or something like that. So anyway, we'll try to get some information out on that. If you've been following us, we've been kind of tagging that. That's December. So go to Thornton Fence Consulting. I'm probably butchering that, but yeah, if you know Tony Thornton, figure it out. So anyway, so that's kind of exciting. We're going to be doing that. We'll be up at Fence Tech as well after that in January. And I think you saw us post something. If you want to win 3 free nights at South Point during our show in September 11th to the 13th, or and also get 2 free VIP passes. Follow me on Facebook, and you'll see we posted some stuff where all you have to do is post your favorite picture of, or one of your best or favorite pictures of any gate you installed that has fall protection on it, and we're going to be picking a winner at Fence Tech. And in January we're picking it. So get on there and just kind of just comment back some photos and things like that. And we're going to be picking it live at Fence Tech. So you don't have to be at Fence Tech, but we also put a code in there where you can get a free pass, because we'd rather you come to Fence Tech and say hi, get a t-shirt or a hat or something. Last but not least, don't forget next September. So it's September 11th to the 13th, the Fence Show and Security Expo. Go to fenceshow.com. And you can see a bunch of information on that. That thing is just blowing up fast. We've got that big outside area that we're working with right now with the property, kind of laying that stuff out. So a lot of exciting stuff. We're gonna have some demo days out there. We're gonna be doing lots of people out. We're gonna be doing some a fence. We're gonna do a maze of temporary panels. I think we're gonna put maybe some free beer in the middle of it. Nah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that, but anyway, you're gonna be go through a maze of temporary panels, and we're gonna have demoing equipment, tools, truck stuff out there. We're gonna be doing some testing, education, all kinds of exciting stuff. So I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, let you know what we're working on. I can't promise we're going to get a lot done this weekend, but you'll probably see a few things pop up. Reach out to me if you got any questions on any of that stuff. Real quick recap, we got Fence University, go to fenceuniversity.com. We got FWA, which is the FWA AI, go to fwa.ai, and that'll redirect you over there. Sign up for a free account. FWA Supply, go to fwasupply.com. Get ready for those catalogs. They're going to be really cool, and they're going to help the industry out. Gate Safety Summit, we're going to do it again at our show, but I'm hoping everybody gets more involved in anybody that's willing to talk about gate safety. Fenceshow.com. The rooms will be opening up, and we'll actually be letting people register for the show and stuff pretty soon. Have a great Thanksgiving. I will probably talk to you next week. I'm sure you'll see me posting stuff because I'm like an addict on posting stuff. But again, love the industry. We'll talk to you guys later.